Hey there, good morning. I'm delighted to be back, and I hope to see your comments below on how this might have. Look at that. Look how I show up with my tag on the front. I guess I'm supposed to talk about this amazing jewelry that I used to make. When I was making this jewelry, I didn't know where I was going with it. I didn't know what it would lead to. I didn't know anything. And that was bringing me to the awareness today that, what if we could accept this concept of I don't know, where we could live in the mystery and the magic and the flow. And so that's where I was going to go. And this is just proof that this is my jewelry, right? That was my brand, and it was Atelier California. So I pulled this jewelry out, and obviously I was getting ready in a hurry this morning. And I was struggling, actually, moving slow. It wasn't a struggle. I was just really feeling this sluggish energy and not really sure how I was going to proceed with you today. And look at that. I came out with a in a splash. And so being able to laugh, I guess, is important, and knowing that there's going to be flubs. Look at it. Here I am live, and probably the most important thing was to me, it is always to present myself in the best way of moving forward. So I'm really, really tickled by this whole thing. And I was, contemplating this mystery, this dance of I don't know, and reflecting on, what are we stepping into? Where are we going? When I work with clients, that's the very first thing I think I have to say and admit. I don't know where this is going to lead us. But one thing I do know is when we come into alignment, we get crystal clarity about our next step, about putting one foot in front of the other, taking one step at a time. And we get clearer and clearer and more certain. And it's almost like the energy field continues to build and building a momentum so that we literally attract to us what's our next big step and what's in our heart and where we need to be playing. This example here of me coming live every day, I think it's been 30 days now or a month of lives with you. And I'm really excited where this is leading me and where we get to connect and maybe answer some questions that we don't know what's next, right? I don't know. So it's fun to play and dance and explore the mystery of uncertainty. And, there were a number of times where I was faced with that. I've told the story of me selling everything that I owned in Southern California, sold my house in 2009, and the market was really sluggish. So what I did was I created a lease to buy opportunity for someone, and I left California about 18 months later with nowhere of knowing what was going to happen. I took a leap and I went to Dubai on the invitation and suggestion of one of my longtime clients. And she had rearranged her entire life, her relationships, her career, her physical health, her relationship with family, and her finances. So when she moved back to Dubai and set up her practice as a chiropractor, she said, Amirah, nobody does what you do. And based on that, I thought, you know what, I'm going to take a chance. And I hired somebody to help me with some promotions to get some exposure. And I went. And what I had to do in time was I knocked on doors. I went to spas. I went to places where people could hear me or receive this newfangled process of what I was offering, because nobody did what I did. But quite honestly, to my surprise and delight, the Middle Eastern mentality, the Muslim mindset, was so open and receptive to energy work and dealing with the unseen energies, the art of uncertainty. I love what they say, inshallah, God willing, right? And that was a setback too. It was a double-edged sword, because sometimes people use that as an excuse not to take action. So that brings us into this whole idea of importance of being able to take action, taking right action. So many times clients tell me that, they made bad decisions, or they've worked with other healers and really nothing moved them forward. And so some energy there on that. So perhaps you're listening and thinking, well, maybe I've taken some wrong directions. And at the end of the day, there's no wrong directions, right? We're all learning, the process of discovery, a process of revealing, a process of the unknown mystery that we're creating. I guess what I'm trying to say is, when we get clear within ourselves, when our chakra system, when the energetics, that the energy we're sending out into the world bounces back and magnetizes what we're vibrating at, a frequency, then we come more and more into alignment of creating what our heart's desires are. And, it's so interesting, especially for people that have done some spiritual work or energy work. They're often flabbergasted with working with me, because in a very short amount of time, we cut to the chase. Like I said before, I'm business kind of girl. Let's cut to the chase. Let's clear out the energetic blocks that you can't see. And that's where my skill and ability to see the energy. And hey, I was so excited about the tag on the front of my necklace today that I didn't say I'm Amirah Hall and I am a soul mystic. And a lot of people want to label us, right? We want to be, okay, I'm an energy healer, I'm a psychic medium, all right, I'm a quantum healer, a medical medium, and an author, and all of those things. And in quantum physics, when we pigeonhole something, we literally create that, but we're also limiting the possibilities of creating that next possibility. So I kind of favor the soul mystic. Leave a comment in the description or in your below what you think of that idea. Because I think once we limit ourselves, we're limiting our potential, right? And possibilities. And so soul mystic always leaves the mystery open, doesn't it? But that is the truth. We are all here as students on the path of learning about who we are, where we're going, what is this thing, being a human. I feel like a silly human today with my tag on the front of my necklace, or on, front and center. It doesn't get any better than that, right? I showed up, I took action. Do I get some brownie points for that? Okay, I hope you're laughing with me and able to laugh at yourself, what foibles you're making this week and moving forward. We've got a full moon tomorrow. I think Saturn is moving forward in Pisces. And so these are some big astrological aspects. I am not an astrologer, but reading about it a little bit and feeling the energy. Maybe you're like me and feeling the sense of hope and something exciting happening and some wonderful mystery unfolding. That's how I've been feeling. Even though I'm feeling a bit sluggish today, I feel like that energy, that shift is pushing us forward. Those of us who are ready to take a step into the action. And it may be a baby step, but listening to that inner voice. And I wanted to play something for you. I have yesterday spoke to a gal, and this is what she was saying about after her second session with me. I want to play that for you. So go ahead and listen to this. Bringing it into your aura, spreading it around, nice and even. So that was me just clearing up. What do you notice in your body?
Space, relief, lightness. And so since I've been doing hold on. But since I've been doing energy work, I feel like I've been out of touch of sensing, like physically sensing. And last night and this morning, I'm integrating some Qigong, simple, like 3 to 5 minute routines. And I was doing it this morning and I was like, oh my gosh, I can feel it. Like, when it used to be easy, it feels easy again.
Good.
Yeah.
That's a sign that there's something working in your favor.
Oh yeah. Oh no, this is so huge. So huge, Amirah. I mean, I can't even tell you. It still seems surreal.
Yeah.
But it also feels familiar. Like just like me reaching out to you, it was just crazy. Like literally I had like 5 minutes left in the podcast and I was already on your website. You know what I mean? And
Thank you.
yeah, it
Thank
just
you for
felt,
listening to your intuition and taking action, right? Because we have to take action even if we're freaking out or so overwhelmed with our circumstances. So congratulations, you're listening to your spirit, you're doing the work appropriately for you in the right time. And that's key, okay, for taking the steps forward. So also keep in mind that you're processing from the first time
So there we go. I just want to share that with you because that is key, is having the right tools at the right time, being able to take action. Perhaps you need support in taking that action that's appropriate and aligned for you. And that's why I offer an introductory session. We can connect and discuss what you're facing and where you'd like some assistance. And for everybody, there's a link for my stress buster. Okay, that is to help you get into the flow so that you can get some clarity on your next step. And the link is in the description below. So please go ahead and download that, get launched into clearing your energy field so that you can have what's in your heart and move forward on what is most important to you, and sort of cut out the noise and the distraction and all of the naysayers and, weird people that show up with their tag on the front of their necklace. I guess Spirit wanted me to talk about my jewelry, and that creative flow of where that got me into taking action. So I hope that helps you today. I hope you're inspired to taking your right action. I'll talk to you tomorrow, 11 o'clock Eastern time here live on YouTube, and look forward to talking to you real soon.